Hello everyone. So I wanted to jump on here and make this video. It's going to be related to CACNA1A related disorders, and there is often this confusion on the differences between the disorders versus the similarities, because it's just a little bit confusing. So I want to get on here and just kind of like explain what I had learned about these disorders. First of all, I went through a genetic doctor. I went through a genetic counselor. I went to see my neurologist and was referred to a geneticist, someone that specializes in the genetics. Okay, so they explained to me after I got my results, they explained to me about my results and everything that came along with it. And on top of that, I did some research on everything that they explained to me, and came up with information. I just want to spread the word, and get it out there and let you know about it, because I know there's a lot of confusion surrounding this topic. And so that's why I'm making this video. First of all, I know it's a little confusing, but CACNA1A disorders there's this confusion like they are the same disorder all in one, or that, they are actually different. And I just want to kind of like break it down for you and just help you kind of like understand, because CACNA1A disorders present themselves a little bit complex and differently. CACNA1A related disorders can have a clinical overlap in symptoms, meaning that they can appear very similar, or that their symptoms overlap. So an example would be a person diagnosed with episodic ataxia type 2 can have symptoms of also hemiplegic migraine, and have migraine headaches in addition to their attacks, on top of episodic ataxia and paralysis affecting one side of the body. Okay. And again, that also sounds like hemiplegic migraine type 1, because it comes along with ataxia as well, paralysis affecting one side of the body, and migraine headache. With SCA6, spinocerebellar ataxia type 6, being somewhat similar to episodic ataxia type 2, the person has progressive incoordination imbalance, but earlier on in the disease course, their symptoms can appear episodic, similar to episodic ataxia type 2. But again, episodic ataxia type 2 shows itself a similar way, where they're having episodes of ataxia, but later on you can develop a permanent and progressive ataxia associated with cerebellar atrophy. Okay, now that is the confusing part that's kind of like confusing everyone, I believe. So to break it down, they are similar, or like the same disorder, but what sets them apart is the genetic mutation or alteration or variant that's causing the disorder. So genetically, they are distinct disorders. They are separate disorders. They are what I had learned is that spinocerebellar ataxia type 6 are caused by repeat expansions in genetics, okay? I tested within the normal range of, back in 2005, of the repeat disorder of spinocerebellar ataxia type 6, which indicated I did not have spinocerebellar ataxia type 6. Now, when I went through my second round of genetic testing, I was tested positive for a missense mutation. And the missense mutation is more prevalent in episodic ataxia type 2. So genetically, that's how they are different between spinocerebellar ataxia type 6 and episodic ataxia type 2, is the genetic difference. The fact that SCA6 is caused by repeat expansions, which I tested normal on, and I tested positive for a missense mutation that's likely consistent with episodic ataxia 2, even though that the two disorders are kind of like linked together or are very similar. The main difference is that episodic ataxia type 2 usually occurs early in life, infancy, childhood, or adolescence, while SCA6 occurs later on in life, usually in your 40s and 50s is the onset of symptoms. So, now that I explained that in more detail for you, I hope this brought you a little bit of insight, and have a good day. Bye now.